I got the question.
No.
What?
I
No,
know
it's not that. It's
exactly.
not. No,
I know
no, it's not. No, you
exactly
let
what you're
me
doing.
let me
No,
explain.
No,
No, it's for the
no.
audience. It's
You're
for the
not allowed
audience.
to start this. You're
It's for
not
the audience. I
allowed.
know it's for
Nope.
the audience. It's for the audience. It's a Christian. I want to
Nope.
know. It's for the audience for
Jay, you
discussion.
can't get
Let
me
me
again.
say
You
it.
got
I'm
me
not gonna
last
get
week.
you. I'm not
You
trying to get
can't
you.
get me
If
again.
you don't let me speak, you let me speak my
Jay,
piece.
if you say what I think you're gonna say, I'm banning you from
I'm
this
not.
podcast. You
You're
will
not gonna ban
not
me
be
from
in
anything.
any.
First off, you're not gonna ban me from
You
anything.
will not be in any more
Second off,
episodes.
I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Now hurry up. Let me say it before I forget what I have to say and I fudge it up. All right. All right. Shut up. Damn it. Okay. All right. Given the choice between ruling a fledgling kingdom or having a chance at fate, a better throw at fate, what was a king to do? And I got another question after that. What do you guys think?
What?
What?
You didn't hear? Okay, whatever. All right.
No, like we heard it, but what?
Next
Like
part.
what?
Next part. All right. Next part. Fuck it. Next part. But does one really have a choice? You know what? I freaking forgot it because Noah wouldn't shut the fudge up, and he made me fudge it up.
I'm
All
very
right.
confused.
I'm
I mean,
so
okay.
confused. What is this?
I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain it again. All right.
Okay.
You ready? All right. Given the choice, think this as you as a king. Okay. Given the choice, whether to rule a fledgling kingdom or have another throw at fate, a better throw, what was a king to do?
I don't know how to answer this.
Do you think when She-Hulk farts, like it sends like fucking gamma rays?
That's
No,
not.
that's a
not the
great
question.
that's a
That's not the
great
question. That's
question,
not the
Brian. Thank you for
question.
bringing that
No,
up.
I got
Welcome back to
I gotta
staring
do
at the
second part. I gotta do the
ceiling.
second part. I gotta do the second part. I gotta do the second part. All right. So the second part is: does one really truly have a choice? Because one can only match move by move machinations of fate to take on the tyrannous stars. And I got a third question to match that question.
How long does this go?
Will you let me can explain? Given the choice between a coin flip, both lead to damnation. Both sides lead to your damnation. What would you choose? But give this at one point, flip a coin enough times, and one time it'll land on its edge. What do you guys choose?
Dude,
I'm sorry. It's going through one
I'm
ear and out
lost. I'm so lost, Jay.
Given, okay, look.
Okay, just explain it. Just explain
You
it. Because
have,
good
okay,
God, what are you
look,
talking about?
you have a chance to defy your fate as a king. You're ruling a kingdom that is going to shit. Let me explain it. Let me dumb it down. You're ruling a kingdom that's going to shit. Okay, all right. You have two options to save that kingdom. Both options lead to damnation. There is though. That's why I said that's a coin flip. It's like you're flipping a coin, heads or tails. But there is a time where the coin will land on its edge. It's just very rare that it lands on its edge. Given the choice, as a king, what would you choose? That edge that lets you defy your fate and maybe give hope to fix the kingdom, or live by fate two times, or both one of the with one of the options.
I
You know what I'm
guess
saying?
the edge. I don't know. Jay, just get to the point, bro.
That's
What
the
is
point.
this?
That's the point. Damn it! Answer the question.
Is this going to go into like a now you're staring at the ceiling?
Yeah, like I
No, it
honestly
wasn't.
don't trust you.
It wasn't.
So She-Hulk clapping her ass cheeks, right? Can we get back to that real
Answer the
quick?
damn question.
I
The edge or
did.
what?
I said the edge.
The rest of you.
the edge, I guess. I don't.
I guess the edge.
The edge.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, edging, sure, yeah.
That's not. Okay, I'm gonna ignore much of
Yeah,
Good
well,
old
She-Hulk
Edging,
edged me.
yeah. The old.
Okay.
Twerk those big booty green cheeks in my fucking face, covered in oil.
I hope she can twerk those big booty cheeks in my face, so I can fall to the floor and start staring at the ceiling.
Shut the fuck up.
Jay,
Shut the fuck up.
it
Shut the
doesn't.
fuck up.
It doesn't even surprise. Okay, let's.
You
Okay,
wasted
no.
your time with the first part.
Jay,
You wasted the time
question-
with the first part. Okay, fuck it,
Jay
whatever. We're moving on.
wasted 5 minutes of this
The
podcast
question
on
wasn't
this.
even gonna lead into that, but y'all kept interrupting me. That I
No,
had
because
to
we
finish.
knew
have
it
an
was
hour and 45
coming.
minutes
We
left.
expected
You wasted
it.
5 minutes.
Good.
All right,
Lord.
let's go. Let's
Just
go.
before
No,
we get
we're
started.
doing One Piece.
I actually did read some One Piece.
You did.
So
Wow.
I've been very busy with school and reading literally novels amounts of pages, but I did get some One Piece in. I am finishing up the Sanji thing going on right now. I'm in the backstory right now.
You're in the backstory. Wow.
I am. Yeah, I've made a little bit of progress. Not too much, but a
Making
little bit.
gains. Making
I know,
gains.
get a little bit of gains. I know.
Making gains.
We're
Damn.
getting there. Yeah, that Zoro confrontation was pretty dope with the
Yeah,
Hawkeyes. That's pretty cool.
with Mihawk.
Yeah, little Mihawk.
Goat Hawk. Yes, sir.
Oh, so his name's
Goat.
actually Mihawk? I thought
Broadhawk.
that was like a mistranslation. I was like, that sounds weird.
Nah, his name's Mihawk.
Broadhawk.
His name's
That's
Mihawk.
weird.
Goat Hawk.
Yeah,
Broadhawk.
that was pretty
Goat
dope.
Hawk.
I like the
Broadhawk.
fucking cross sword that he came out with. That was pretty dope.
Yes, sir. Yes,
No,
sir. Yes,
Broadhawk.
sir.
Yeah, he got his ass
Yeah,
kicked.
but-
Zoro got his ass kicked though. That was unfortunate.
Yes,
Broadhawk.
hey, had to happen. But
Mm.
good. You know, you're making progress. That's all I
Yeah,
ask.
are you
That's
proud
all
of
I
me,
ask.
Mitchell?
I am proud. I am proud of you.
I'm
dog.
not.
You did a good job.
For once.
You did a
Mitchell's
good
proud of
job.
me. But yeah, so let's talk about before this podcast started. Mitchell mentioned just out of nowhere, he's like, "Ah, yes, Among Us porn," and Brian very quickly, mind you, said, "Oh, send." Just
Yeah.
want to bring that up.
Yeah, I was curious.
Oh, curious,
curious,
huh?
but
Yeah,
yeah.
little depraved.
I
Are we?
just wanted to know. I just wanted
Mm.
to know when Tails in Among Us porn. Like, was it like the little guys, or was it the little guys in the humanoid form? Like, did one have a big penis? Did one-
This is really starting off on a good note. You know, we're just talking about fucking She-Hulk
Yeah,
twerking,
I'm
fucking
sure.
Among Us porn.
Look, I'm sure YouTube
James
really
hypotheticals.
likes us.
Yeah.
I'm sure YouTube really loves us. But how have y'all
Yeah,
been?
listen.
How have y'all been the last week? How we been doing?
Alive, Noah. I've been alive.
Yeah, we've been breathing.
Yeah,
I played Garo Mark for Wolves.
yeah, you've had a real
That's a
obsession with Garo the past week, to the
Yeah,
point.
I've
the
been playing
point-
it a lot.
No, to the point where I'm in the middle of streaming Xenoblade 3, right? I'm in a very serious scene in Xenoblade 3. I'm enjoying it. I'm invested. And I just see Brian come into my chat and they're like, play Garo. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to play Garo.
I mean, you can call
I'm
the
in-
fart porn scene
No.
a serious scene, but you know,
Stop.
like,
I'm in the middle of this intense scene and then Brian's like, play Garo. I'm like, no, I'm playing Xenoblade. And then just twice over, Brian's like, the wolves are coming, Noah. And then
No,
just
I just-
leaves.
hungry
what?
wolves are on the prowl, not wolves coming. No, that's
Yo, what?
Look, point is,
What are
just
they doing?
drops
Oh my God.
this. Brian
This is
just
not
drops
good.
this, leaves the stream, nothing else. Tried to just get me to play Garo. This happened before I streamed too, like the night before that. I was also in a call and Brian's like, play Garo. Like, fucking trying to convert me to Garoism or something.
This is gonna be my third attempt. Play Garo with me.
No. What is with
Play
you?
Garo.
You don't play any fighting games with me. Why would I play a fighting game with you?
Play
Damn.
Garo. Damn, no.
Fucking,
Play Garo.
we both had
Grand.
no. Hear me out here. We both had Grand Blue Fantasy. We played once. Never played with me. We both have DNF. Never played with me ever.
Now you see how it feels, Noah.
Multiverses. Never. Haven't played with me yet. What the fuck?
Nah, yeah, you see how it
I
feels
don't
to
play. I
everybody,
don't
Noah.
play 1v1 in multiverse.
But we can play teams. I play teams with Jay.
Yeah,
You just won't fucking
you're
play
gonna
with
have to
me.
go We
Now
can
you
play-
see how
we
it
can play-
feels, Noah. I bought Soul Calibur, and none of you fuckers who got it.
I don't have
Play the
Soul
damn
Calibur.
game.
That's not me. That's not
I
my
have
name.
2 copies of Soul Calibur 6.
Why? I never see you play it.
I don't know. I don't. I have.
God, that sounds like Mitchell
Virtual
downloading the
Fighter.
same mod twice, and it's like, why do you
got-
have it?
I
He's
was
just like, I
waiting
don't
Call
know,
the
dude.
same mod twice, okay? Don't
I
fucking
doubt
lie.
that. You have like thousands of mods. I doubt you haven't downloaded the
And
same
they're
one
all
twice.
different. They're all different. 1,964 mods.
You fucking
I don't
psychopath.
expect Mitchell to play that stuff.
Wait, what?
But like, play like. Well, he will play Deadly Warrior.
I will play Deadly Warrior. Okay, it's fucking
Yeah, go ahead. I want to see you do it.
peak fiction. Zenith of the medium. Okay.
I mean, speaking of multiplayer games, though, Splatoon 3 is coming out. Well, what are we doing about that, though? Are we getting that
We
game?
need to take.
I have no
I say
money.
we have a Legion.
I don't
take
have a
out
Switch.
these kids, because these kids are getting pretty bold in that game. I'm not gonna get punked by children.
What I'm saying is, Hungry Wolves are on the prowl, and someone needs to play.
We
Garo.
get it. Look, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be obsessed with Garo, and you're gonna make me play it, and then like a month from now, you're gonna be like, I'm done with Garo, and you're gonna go back. You're gonna go back to like KOF or something.
To be fair, this is a turnaround, because before you were kind of shitting on the game.
I
Now
did shit on it. I did.
Like this is Brian's like we all have our different kind of pattern when it comes to games. Like for me, I play a game for like 20 to 30 hours, and then typically I drop it for a while, go play another game, come back later. Brian's is shitting on a game, then playing it, being obsessed with it for a hot minute, and then just dropping it and shitting on another, going back to it.
I played Garo for
You
7.5
shit on this game
hours.
pretty hard too before.
Yeah, I did. Because I took every opportunity to take a fat shell in SNK. But then now I got my same for rollback. So now I'm lighter on them.
Yeah.
I still don't think Garo 2 would sell well. But I am excited for Garo 2. I will play the hell out of Garo 2.
Brian's the type of person who looks at a game and is like, that looks like a 7 out of 10, as if that's a bad thing, and then plays it, it's like, this is pretty good.
Hey,
I temper my expectations.
That's your default. Just any game you look at. Like, when we used to watch E3 together, you'd be like, that's a 7 out of 10. That looks like a 7 out of 10.
That's how
is your default.
I temper my expectations. So I don't, I don't go in expecting like a fucking, I don't know, like a Stanley Kubrick film, and I get fucking shit on the wall. All right, temper.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't know, the people that look at a game and they're like, this is gonna be the best thing ever, 10 out of 10, and then it's not what they expect, and they're like, God, it's shit. And it's like, no, it's still good. It's just not what you thought it was.
Yeah.
Every time a big AAA game comes out, you do.
Wait, shit. Hold up.
What's up? What happened?
My headphones went out. I can't hear. Hold up.
Bruh.
Okay.
Oh, look, this has not been a. Oh shit.
Oh my god.
What the hell? Hello?
Her butt's bigger, obviously. No.
Hello?
No. Compared to the chick who's acting as She-Hulk. Yeah, no.
Okay, my headphones weren't working, so I didn't catch like the last 5 minutes.
But you see, with the artificial practical effects enhancing the She-Hulk ass.
So my headphones just fucked up for 5 minutes, and I come back to Mitchell talking about She-Hulk's ass cheeks again.
Yeah.
Megan Stallion's ass is obviously bigger, but
I mean, like She-Hulk's like a superwoman.
She is a superwoman. She is a superwoman.
That's the thing.
The suit wasn't too good.
This is gonna be really jarring when we go from talking about video game tendencies to She-Hulk's ass cheeks, but whatever, sure.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about people who gas up games.
You see, I can look at some. You know what game never fails me? Garo, Mark of the Wolves. Hungry Wolves are always.
Shut up.
No, that's not.
No,
Brian,
pick another game.
The comfort game you go back to is Samurai Showdown all the time.
Yeah, Samurai Showdown.
That is your comfort game.
Man, I was with you.
That is my comfort game. That is my
game that never fails me. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, actually, fucking Samurai Showdown never fails me. Personally,
that's a lie.
Well, I mean, like when it has rollback netcode,
no,
it goes up from 5 concurrent players to 6 concurrent players. Hell yeah, rollback, let's go, baby!
that game sold better than DNF.
It probably did, honestly. I'm not surprised.
Actually, it sold like 2 million or some shit. So
Look,
like, yeah,
look,
it
I
did.
ain't a DNF stan. Like, I played the game for like 19 hours. I haven't played it in like a month.
I played.
See, that's
Wow.
why. Speaking of your thing, bro. What you were talking about, people gassing shit up, uh, like gassing games up all the time. Uh, fucking the list that people be making of games all the time. You know, they're like, oh, I'm gonna get this and this. This is gonna be a game with freaking the best year for gaming ever. And they list like 50 games and don't even beat
Gaming.
them, or they get like multiplayer games and nobody plays them.
Well,
When they
no,
don't
no.
play,
My
Well,
favorite is when it's some like shitty fucking indie game on the list too, and it's like this is why it's fucking
Well,
game
the
of the year or
problem
some
with
shit.
me is like I want to play a lot of these games. I just don't have the fucking time. Like there are people who
that's
have the time to do it. For me, it's like I'm working, I'm going to school. When I have the little time I want, maybe I want to play some Fortnite or some Pokemon Unite. You know, games that I'm comfortable with and that I play a lot. Not fucking. Sometimes I don't want to play. You know, fucking DNF. Just
that's
happens.
why I didn't buy it. I knew I was like, this is some from day one. I was like, this is something I get for $20. Not because it was bad, because I already was like, okay, looking like, oh, this is all right, and I knew people weren't gonna play it with me, so I was gonna wait, like Grand Blue, and when I got Grand Blue, we only played that shit once, and I don't even want to play that game again. So, yeah,
I think like DNF's a fun game. I think the issue is just like the dev support is ass.
Yeah, no, that
It's
update they
kind of killing.
released where all they did was nerf Swiftmaster. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
I
that
see how it is.
those weren't patch notes. That was a patch note. All right, like, and then there's like no DLC. There's like no new content, and there's ample opportunity for characters
Which
in
is
that game. I
crazy
fucking
because it's a fun game. It should
yeah,
get more content.
it's a fun game. It's just not getting anything. It's kind of killing it. There's just
Like
nothing there.
I will hard put out here that DNF I think is better than Grand Blue, and I like Grand Blue. I like Grand Blue a lot. I think DNF is better than it, but its support's kind of ass.
I agree with that. Do I agree with that? Do I agree with that? Let me think on that for a second. I actually agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah, like Grand Blue's really good, despite them not putting rollback in the game. Grand Blue's really good. I just think DNF is more fun.
I've heard there's some issues with like the latest Grand Blue patch with like that V shift shit they added, but
That shit's kind of fun. I did play the game when that came out. That's kind of fun.
yeah, I forgot they added that. They had Sancho burst too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
I don't
yeah,
know. It's just like there's so many games coming out now that it's not that a game needs to hold your attention. It's just how much do you want to play this game before you move on to the next game that you want to try, because there's so many things to play and you can only commit to so many games. It's like
yeah,
you'll have those people that say for fucking Splatoon coming out. You'll have those people that put in like 200-300 hours plus into the game, but then you'll have those people who play it for 30 hours. They're like, I feel like I've put enough into this, and then they move on to the next
yeah,
game.
I just think we just need to realize what exactly that we're like. I guess. Well, okay, this is an exception. Always an exception to Nintendo games. Nintendo games do not go on sale. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter when you want to buy it. If it's an online game, you might as well buy it in its peak, so you can, play with a bunch of people. But I just think that people
yeah,
should just start like looking at what they're actually buying and stop buying crap. Because I see all the time with some of my my casual friends in gaming, and like they'll buy up they'll hype up every single thing that's coming out. Then they start buying it. Like they start buying a new Assassin's Creed or some shit and everything. And then they're like, man, gaming has gone down. It's just been kind of mid. These games aren't what they used to be. And like, look what you're buying. You're buying like the same trash every goddamn year. Why don't you go play something else that's not getting hyped up 24/7? I don't mean to be like one of those people that's like, oh, I'm not even telling them to go buy like an indie game or anything, because there are indie games that get hyped up like that. But what I'm saying is that they should probably like look to more stuff than just the current thing. Because if you're looking, let's say when Cyberpunk 2077 came out, right, and that was all you're looking forward to in gaming that year, and that was what 2020 that it came out.
Was it?
Yeah, it was 2020 that it came out. And that's all you're looking forward to that year, and the game fails like that because it was already overhyped. So even if it did deliver, like it was no bugs or anything, people would get upset because it was overhyped. It really was overhyped because there are a lot of features that were not in the game. And two, uh, you put all your eggs in one basket. Of course, you're gonna be like this year sucked. But in 2020, we got a lot of good shit. You got the Animal Crossing, you got Doom Eternal, you got fucking what else came out that year? You guys need to help me on this because I freaking
Do you think
2020,
my memory is that
2020.
of a goldfish? Do you really expect me to remember what came out in
The
2020?
Last of Us Part 2. Let's
fuck
go.
that.
Let's
All
go,
right,
baby.
no.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Neo 2 came out.
Did it in 2020? That's crazy. Still haven't
Yakuza
played it, but I
7.
own it.
The Demon Souls remake, but that's just a remake.
Oh,
so.
Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Oh, you mean the
Yakuza
Demon Souls
7.
remake that I crushed because it was easy? Crazy.
The point is, Bug Snacks. The point is, there's a bunch of other games that come out that
Just,
like don't get
point
hyped
is,
up.
Bug Snacks.
Bug
Yeah.
Snacks is the shit. All right, don't fight me on that.
Have you
Halloween.
actually
Alex
played
came out.
Bug Snacks? Oh,
what came
Dragon
out?
Ball Z Kakarot came out in 2020. I remember that.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a game.
Oh, wow.
But I guess the point is just that I think people should stop. Like, I hate sounding like this because I sound like some freaking loser. Like, don't follow the mainstream games, but I think people need to stop just hyping
I mean,
up.
even
Jay,
a
you
lot
are
of
a
the games
loser.
listed are like mainstream games. It's just fucking.
They weren't as hyped. Well, I just look at like how like the regular person sees it because I see that a lot in this other server I'm in because they just kind of like consume and move on, which that's how some people are. And like to them, Cyberpunk was like, or to a lot of them, Cyberpunk was like the big thing that year. And that because that was bad, now everybody's looking at the gaming industry like fucking all this shit sucks. All this games suck, and they're not looking at that because they don't play the other shit.
Yeah, people. Yeah, they play a lot of the same shit a lot of the times. But
So- Cyberpunk kind of reminded me of, because we were talking about our gaming, like, attitudes, at least for me and Brian. It reminded me of Mitchell's. So here's Mitchell's gaming pattern, right? So Mitchell, right, doesn't play, like, a huge variety of genres. He sticks to his genres.
Okay, all right.
No. I'm not shit on you. You've gotten better. You've been playing some like Sonic and stuff. You got out of your comfort zone.
I've
Look,
gotten better.
You have gotten better.
Like
yeah.
fucking,
So
5 years ago. Okay.
now look, okay. But here's Mitchell's thing. Mitchell waits for a game that he is very interested in, and it comes out, and then he just puts like 100 hours into the game, and then goes back to Skyrim and Oblivion and Fallout.
See, Mitchell does it the right way. He waits until it's something that he really wants to play, gets his money worth, and then moves on with his life.
Yeah,
Some people can't do that. Some people are spending are buying like 3 games that come out at the same time because it's the big thing, and they can't even play one of them, and they might even not like one of them. They don't put the time.
Well,
into
I think there's a difference because if you have the money to do it, you can do it. Because like you and I, we work for our money. We have we have a good bit, I would say, right? Mitchell doesn't have as much money as us, so
That's why it's more
saves it
important.
accordingly.
Yeah.
But even if we have money, like I am making money, but I'm like the more money that I make, the more stingy I become with my money and what I want
Oh
to
yeah,
spend
no,
it
for
on.
sure. In ways, you get stingy, but sometimes you look at something and you're like, I just want to buy that because I want to,
So when I see like for instance, this DNF Duel as an example. So when I see like DNF Duel, and I got my paycheck, and I'm looking at that, I'm like thinking, am I really gonna play this? Are people gonna play this with me constantly enough to play like enough to buy this game at full price right now? And the answer was just no, and so I didn't buy it. And then now it's like what, August? No, it just turned September. It's September, and I already see people on Twitter. You know, it's a dumb argument. I already see people on Twitter saying like, DNF dead.
Okay, no. That's not a good thing. Like, anybody calls any game dead when it doesn't have a bajillion players. I fucking hate those people, by the way, who look at Steam charts and they're like, the Steam charts say it's got 100 players, it's dead. And it's like, I'm gonna be honest, for one, 100 players is still decent. Two, look, people's attention span is the size of a fucking goldfish. Like,
I agree.
What do you expect?
As a game life lives on, the the less people are gonna play it. That's just how it's gonna be. But people are gonna look at these games and be like, it's not doing well because of
See,
this 6 months out. I'm not surprised by it, but I'm just saying the flip flop quick. It's getting quicker and quicker.
the games that are going to have the highest player bases are free-to-play games and the ones that come out yearly, because all the people from that game just shift to the new one, and then that one has all that player base, and their attention span lasts long enough for the next game to come out. Typically,
And
that's
now
what
the
you can
yearly
see.
stuff. Now most of the yearly stuff is just becoming like updates. Like you get
Pretty
that big
much, yeah.
update every year.
But anyways, it reminded me because you're talking about Cyberpunk, and Mitchell was waiting for Cyberpunk to come out, and it came out, and we're all like, it's it's got a lot of problems. Look, it's got a lot of problems. Mitchell put like 70 hours into the game.
I wasn't really
game's a
waiting
good
for.
game.
I wasn't really waiting for Cyberpunk. I just kind of like saw that it existed, and like I kind of like got it. I wasn't really following its like release schedule or anything.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
you definitely weren't as big into it as like you would be for say something like Elden Ring, but it's the fact that like in less than a month you put 70 hours in it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Mitchell.
I mean, it's a new game. I
The
gotta play
game.
it, you know.
Yeah,
And
It was a
I
good
didn't
game.
even finish it. I didn't even finish it. It's the funny part.
Didn't you get close to finishing it?
I did. I was like near the final mission. Like I was like the last segment of the game, but I just didn't finish it because
Yeah, I'll
it
admit
had a lot
I
of
You must
problems.
finish it.
I'll admit I also bought it. I only put like 20 hours into it and then I stopped. So
It was a game. I didn't really go in with a lot of because I think a lot of the problems with it. I mean, it was obviously buggy as shit. You know, that's obviously an issue. But I think that like the biggest issue with it is that it had like this big ass history, like fucking 10 years or whatever the fuck, and like around there, and like fucking you know, it had a lot of promises prior to like its release and shit. So a lot of people had their expectations up, and they straight up lied about a lot of content that would be in the game that just wasn't. So I can understand why it really just blew the fuck up, and people were super disappointed. But it's a game. It was a game. If it didn't have all that baggage, I think it'd be like middling. It'd
yeah,
be okay, I guess.
just
But
yeah, I love how the best thing you can say is it was a game.
it was a game. I mean, it was a game. It was pretty okay.
Oh, but also you had that Yakuza phase where like once you got into Yakuza, you just played through every game.
Yeah,
I mean, you went hard.
yeah. I wanted to play the series.
It was like
You know?
it was at to the point where one day you'd be like, I'm playing Yakuza 0, and the next day you'd be like, I'm playing Yakuza 3. You'd be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened to 1 and 2?
You just get addicted.
You
Honestly, you
just
gotta
went
like
through
get
it.
into that
It
loop.
was a little bit of an addiction, honestly.
Yeah,
It's not
once
an
you get into that
addiction.
loop of Yakuza, like you just start playing those games. You just have to like get really into it. I'll say like uh Kiwami kind of got me out of that, but I have to like play the rest. It's not even because it's bad, but like it's just like lacking a lot of the feature because it's the first game.
Yakuza 3 was I was fighting for my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, Yakuza 3, I was kind of fighting a little bit, but yeah, you know,
You also
after
spent like hours in one of the games, like the cabaret game or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, that's the peak.
Yeah,
well,
one
yes,
of
that's
which
peak.
was it?
That's
Was it
peak.
0 that you were on that one?
Zero.
I played Zero way
For like
back,
a
way back,
hot
way earlier.
minute, you were in
I
that
played
one.
Yakuza. I played Yakuza 0 way earlier than I did the other games, but yeah, the cabaret game. It's peak. It's peak. The cabaret game is peak. They
Yeah.
need to fucking release it as like a fucking mobile game or some shit. I don't know, but they need to release it, okay, as like some little fucking mini game, and they will make bank. I'm telling you, that game is fun as shit. Okay, it's fun as hell.
Mitchell
It really
dipping
is.
Mitchell dipping into the savings for that SSR fucking cabaret
You
girl.
well
Yes,
you gotta
sir. Yes,
do it
sir.
anyway because you gotta get if you want the final fighting style, you gotta do it anyway and like max it out.
For Mazuma, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for Zero. It's also a
Bro.
Kiwami 2, but it's less filled out like the 0-1 is, I think. But it's still good. It's still good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought I would get into Yakuza because I played Kiwami. I beat it and I was like, this is really good. I want to play the others. And I bought Kiwami 2 when it came out, and I haven't touched it. It's just been sitting there.
I will say I'm not as big a fan of the 6 engine style. But apparently, Judgment is like a massive improvement.
Yeah.
On that combat. So I'll have to play that, figure that out. But
I'm surprised you haven't played Judgment.
first of all, it costs money. Second of all, yeah,
You bought the other Yakuza games. What?
in a bundle
Zero.
for Christmas. So it was.
Yeah, sure.
It's a big ass bundle. It's cheap as hell, so it's not that big.
Dude, Yakuza games are always in like those like. There's a lot of games that you see on sale, and you're like, that thing's always on sale. I mean, like
Yakuza.
any sale that comes around, it's like Yakuza, Xenoverse 2, fucking Call of Duty games, stuff that you always see.
Yeah.
Nah, but so recently I did get into a game, and I don't know what this is gonna turn out to be, if it'll turn out to be another 20-hour one or not. But there is a game called Gunfire Reborn, and it came out, so it's like a roguelite, but it's first-person shooter, and it's co-op. So for one, we should play it, right? Because it's co-op and it's on sale right now. Y'all should buy it.
Okay.
But it's like it was really fun. It's called Gunfire Reborn. Pretty good. But what's funny is like the day after I started playing that game, I go on Twitter and I just see people complaining about how every indie game is a roguelike, and they were like complaining
Oh
as
yeah,
if it was
as soon as you
they were complaining as if it was a problem. And for one, not every indie game is a roguelike. Two, what's the problem with roguelikes?
okay, so it's just a roundabout of indie games. I remember when you posted about it. You posted about it right after I posted that shit. So I saw it. But basically before it was Earthbound clones. And before I think it was platformers. So roguelikes are just like the new target because a lot of
They're
indie
not
games
real.
are doing
They're
it.
not new. They're not new. No,
They're not.
No,
I'm not
I
saying,
mean, like they're not the new target. They've all like honestly like they've always been kind of a target. It's just like you never noticed it before. The issue with it is that a lot of games, specifically indie games, will try to insert roguelike mechanics for some reason. And the issue is that like 95% of them fuck it up and it ruins the game. So people got really fucking tired of it. Especially in like the 2015, 2016, a lot of indie games would just quit.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I haven't really
every
played a lot
time-
from there.
I'm trying to think of a genre that's really similar to it. Like in terms of being hated.
But it's like I
Like-
don't. Mhm.
It's like it's one of those where if people see a game that's a roguelike now, people will just kind of roll their eyes and just be like, "Oh, okay."
See, I never got
Oh,
that though. I
zombie
mean,
games.
I haven't
Zombie
played
games.
that from. I haven't played
Zombie
that.
game. It's like zombie games.
I didn't play that in like 2015, 2016, but it's like whenever I see a roguelike now, the ones I've played are pretty good. To me, they're just a relaxing kind of game, like one that you don't need to take seriously. You can just kind of sit down, play it for, an hour, get off, right? I think they're just relaxing games. Stuff like Dead Cells is really good.
There's just the issue is a lot of them. It's like, for example, there was this one FPS, I forget its name off the top of my head, where it looked really cool, but it shoved roguelike mechanics into it and it actually like ruined it, like gameplay wise and shit. Like there's a lot of indie games where they'll just shove roguelike mechanics into it and it just absolutely ruins it because it wasn't needed and it like dilutes like anything else in the game. So it's like it's just a really tired like design trope in games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're just like shoving the same thing, kind of like that one period where we just got a bunch of battle royales at the same time, and like every
Kinda
game
like
had to have
that.
a battle royale mode. I fucking hated that period, by the way. That was so bad.
Yeah,
A lot
very
of it
similar to
failed.
that.
It's like I've gotten less salty about battle royales because I'm starting to enjoy them more. I just think there's only specific ones. Like I tried that one. What's the one where you like fight people? It's like is it Naraka Blade Point? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that one.
So that one, I saw somebody play it and I played it a little bit myself. That was kind of fun because it's like a melee base. You like fight people. That's pretty dope. And then I've been playing Fortnite because God help me, I fell into the hole.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
But
Greatest.
like I've calmed down on battle royales a little bit, but I still hate how there's like, or there's that new one Rumbleverse that came out. I played it, didn't really care for it, but it looks like people are having fun with it. Some of them are good. When it's a unique one, it's good. But when they just throw another one, it's like, bruh, chill. You don't
They've
need it.
slowed down with it recently. I don't think we've seen as many. But then again, I don't follow games nowadays too closely, so I don't know. But
Well, I think people just kind of stick to the ones they know. Like it's Warzone and Fortnite are the main two. Other than that, it's like you have a couple here and there.
Well, PUBG,
Yeah,
but
PUBG's there too. Yeah.
well, PUBG's not popular in the West as much. Um, it's more popular in like China, where I
Yeah.
mean, like that's a big ass audience on its own.
So yeah, I
So
mean, like those three basically. Other than that, it's
yeah.
like the others are like kind of okay, like popular wise. But I mean, I will say battle royales kind of died down a little bit. What's the genre right now that everybody's doing? I don't really think I've noticed one.
Uh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't really think there is
There
like a
isn't really
big
one right
genre.
now.
Oh, you know what? You remind me.
There was like that fucking whatever presentation a little bit back this year, fucking where they just had a shit ton of horror games. I remember that shit.
Yeah, I remember like it was just because it wasn't even they weren't even bad. Just, it was all in a row, and like it was just kind of like getting tiring seeing it. But
There were
Oh
some
a
of them
lot.
were pretty cool.
wait. Are you talking about the one where it was just a bunch of space horror games?
Yeah, a bunch of
Yeah,
space horror games. I remember
Yeah,
I
that.
yeah.
remember what you're talking about. Wasn't that the was that one of the summer Game
Yes.
Fest things?
Yeah,
I remember what you're talking
Yeah.
about now. Yeah.
It was literally just like the same fucking like space horror game
Look,
over
you don't
again.
want to go to space and
And
fight like an alien?
someone made the meme of like a game logo. A game logo if the game is in space and they just erase the fucking line in the A.
yeah. I fucking there was that one shooter that looked cool. That was like a horror shooter. I think I forgot what it was called, but yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the fuck. Is it the one that's like semi like a rhythm game or some shit?
Are you
I
talking
don't
about
think it's
what?
that.
Are you talking about the
It's
Nintendo one?
no. It was fuck. I don't. It was I don't
Dude,
know.
I'm
I don't know
so
what it
glad
was.
all of our memories are so good. I really
Yeah, it's
am.
I feel
really
like
good.
memory.
I'm thinking of some game where like it's an indie game that's like it's essentially like Doom. I'm gonna be upfront, like you're in hell,
Mhm.
and it has like a metal OST, and
Oh,
like
I
a
know what you're
rhythm.
talking about.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
have
god,
to.
that was that weird ass game that popped up. Was that the Bethesda conference or whatever? Or the Xbox in Bethesda?
I think it was. Yeah,
I
it's like
remember that now. Fuck, I don't remember what the name was.
yeah, it's like you have to kill enemies until like the rhythm of the fucking song and shit.
It
I
was
I
so weird looking.
I do remember that, but that wasn't the one I was talking about. But yeah, a lot of horror games. A lot of horror space games. You know.
Yeah, we're talking about genres being like people just kind of using genres and like the wrong or trying to force genres into everything, like the roguelike and FPS. I can name two that's like being forced in a lot of games, and I think they gotta stop. And it's like RPG mechanics and freaking stealth mechanics because they end up trying to do it and they just end up failing on both.
Stealth
Because
mechanics are
Dude,
the eightfold
there
one.
there are so many games where I just don't give a shit about the stealth because it's so poorly implemented.
they gotta stop unless your game is built around stealth, like Sly Cooper or Metal Gear Solid. Don't.
I feel like we've been complaining about stealth. Now.
It's boring. They're not done right.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like
they're never done right. I don't know why they keep attempting it. It's been like 22 fucking years.
it's like I played the new Horizon game that came out and I love it. It's a good game. I finished it and everything. But the stealth in that game, I just did not give a shit. Most of the
They do
time,
love them.
unless they required me to, I was like, I'm just gonna run in there and shoot shit. I mean, like,
They do love those fucking stealth mechanics. Yeah, they really do.
mm.
Remember in
Love throwing
Ghost
them
of Tsushima where they really mind you? Like,
Yeah, no, I think that reminded me too, because Ghost of Tsushima, once again, good game, but it's like, I think the problem is when something like Batman does it, and it gives you the Batman vision, and you can see the room, that's cool, because you get to plan out your attack, and you have, like, all of your takedowns and shit. But then stuff like Ghost of Tsushima and Horizon's like, here's a small little thing that lets you see your enemies for a second, but you can't really plan it out, so good fucking luck. It's like, how am I supposed to be stealthy when at any moment a guy come out of nowhere, and I couldn't even predict that? Like, what, man?
I like how Sekiro does it, where it's very baby's first big stealth mechanic, kind of in a way. Like
It's
very basic stuff, but like they
surface level. It's completely surface level, like hardly any.
Yeah, they do it for the sole purpose of like making the game easier because through stealth you're able to evade and shit and like plan shit better.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm cool with it when it's like that because like the stealth more so adds to the game rather than focusing on it. But like and like it feels impactful because the enemies and shit. If you do not have your rhythm down and like deflecting and shit, the enemies will fuck you up and you kind of stealth around if you want an easier time. Especially with like mini bosses where if you get a backstab, you take like a health bar off of them and shit. But like you get shit like in Ghost of Tsushima, and it feels fucking pointless and tacked on. I will say Ghost of Tsushima does it better than other games, than like let's say a fucking Far Cry game, right? But like it just feels like unnecessary to a certain degree. Like it's just there for pointless depth, and it doesn't work because they don't give a shit about the stealth mechanics. Like,
Yeah, like when they don't give you an option to move the body after you've taken it out, so then they'll just see it, which ruins the stealth, and it's like, well, what the fuck is the point of the stealth if I can't stay stealthy?
see, Metal Gear Solid,
unless you're Splinter Cell
Metal
or
Gear
Sly
Solid,
Cooper or Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid does the body shit really interesting. You have to really hide them, and you have to do things like in Metal Gear Solid 2, they started doing this, where you have to like go in first person, hold the person hostage, find their walkie-talkie, shoot the walkie-talkie so they can't communicate to other people, and then like knock them out and hide them. And like you have to do all this shit, and it's really cool. Like you need a game like in order to do stealth properly, you need to be like a Metal Gear Solid where you can really fucking expand mechanics.
I think you can do it. I think you can do it simple. If you just do it right, like Sly Cooper's does it. It is a gimmick, but it does it simple.
Yeah, you can do it simple. Like I mentioned Sekiro, where it does it simply, but it does it to like enhance other aspects of the game. Like you can do that, but my issue is like you get shit like I don't know why, but every time I fucking think of bad stealth, I think of Far Cry. Like you get like shit like fucking Far Cry, like 3 and Beyond, where the stealth is just like it's just so like I don't it's just boring. The way a lot of these games do it, it's just boring. That's it. It's just boring. It sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just they really like doing it. They like having their stealth segments and shit in these a lot of these games nowadays. I don't know.
It's like they expect you to spend an hour in this one stealth section learning each like enemy's pattern, exactly where they're gonna be at the right time, what's the perfect time to take them out. And it's like, bro, I ain't got that kind of time. Come on, chill.
You know, that's a great example of that. Spider-Man PS4, bro.
I was just about to mention it.
Mary Jane, the whole those sections and then the whole story around those sections are so dumb.
Okay, the Mary Jane sections suck, but the actual Spider-Man stealth is not that bad. It's not as good as Batman, but it's not that bad.
That's you know what's crazy about that game? You're climbing walls and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about that game too? When I completed it, I was really curious, and I actually counted how many Mary Jane fucking levels there are. Did you know that there are more Mary Jane missions in that game than Peter missions?
Look,
in the base game.
Who the fuck wants to play as Peter? Am I right?
Yeah, I actually counted it too. I don't have my exact count anymore because it was like fucking ago when I beat that game. But like, yeah, there's like more Mary Jane fucking stealth missions in that fucking game than Peter ones. This also includes Miles ones because there are like I included Miles and Mary Jane together because Miles is essentially the fucking Mary Jane missions are like except you're playing as Miles, they're the same fucking thing. But like I think the worst offender of it is the fucking museum level where like it would be really cool to stealth around a Spider-Man goddamn museum, right? Or wherever I forget what it was. It was like a fucking bank or some shit or whatever. I don't remember. It was huge. It was just some huge fucking building. But
I also hate
you're going around as Mary Jane telling Peter to like attack enemies rather than being fucking Spider-Man in the big ass building. It's stupid.
I
It's
also
just
hate the
really
Mary Jane
dumb.
story, like that goes along with those sections where she's like, she's constantly complaining, like she's constantly complaining to people like, you don't let me go into these dangerous situations where I could get killed and
Yeah.
just leave me alone. You don't trust me. It's like, duh, you don't have spider powers. You don't have any powers. You're going like
Yeah.
military bases. You're going into like these gang organizations. Like no one, like what? No one and nothing is stopping. Spider Man is not there.
There's
Nothing is stopping you from getting shot in the head if you get caught. Like what?
there's one where she breaks in the fucking Norman Osborn's house and like goes in his fucking lab shit, and it's like, yeah, wow.
And,
Wonder
and,
why Peter doesn't like you doing shit.
and
Like,
besides that
oh,
dumb story point, there's no other reason for you not to be playing as Spider Man. Like it's not like Spider Man is knocked out and you got to save him. No, you just.
he's
Oh,
always following you on those missions, backing you up, and it's like, why am I not playing as Spider-Man? It just feels monotonous. It's just stupid. It's monotonous. Like, that's my main issue with that game. Is like when the game tries to be a AAA game, it gets really bad. Like, it's really bad when it tries. Like, it's not as bad on the first playthrough, but I feel like on a second playthrough, I really hate it. Like, when the game is more open, it lets you be Peter, and you're just kind of doing Spider-Man shit. It's fine. Like, it's fun. It's not the most remarkable experience ever, but it's fun. Like, just swinging around New York and just doing shit. And, like, even in, like, the Peter mission, it's fine. Um, like, but then you get to the fucking AAA game where it wants the fucking, oh, you have to unlock the Ubisoft towers. Oh, you have to do the Mary Jane stealth missions. It's bad. It sucks when you do that. The main reason why Miles Morales, like that game, is somewhat better is because there's no dumb fucking stealth missions and the Ubisoft towers are gone. So, like, you don't get that shit.
Look,
I
look, look, look.
swear,
Hey,
in Spider-Man 2, if I see goddamn Ubisoft towers again, I'm gonna fucking freak out.
look, hey,
I'm glad. I'm
hey. At
glad that
least
Sonic
it.
Frontiers didn't have Ubisoft Towers. We thought it was.
Look, Brian. At least you can go into Spider-Man now and just play as Shrek, right? At least you could do that.
That is true. That is
Yeah,
true.
get that PC version. Go play as some Shrek, or I think I saw fucking Walter White from Breaking Bad. I think it was no, it was better.
There's a
It's fucking
Kermit.
Saul from Better Call
Yeah,
Saul.
there is a Saul. There is a Kermit one that was funny. Shit.
That one was pretty fucking funny.
I do like that one. But
But
yeah,
no,
that's what I hope Spider-Man 2 improves on that kind of shit. I swear to God, if I play a Mary Jane, I swear to God, if there are Mary Jane missions, but you don't get to play as Venom, I'm about to kick a
I was gonna
wall.
say I really hope Spider-Man 2 pulls a fucking Spider-Man. What was it? Spider-Man? Is it Ultimate
It's
Spider-Man?
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, where you
Yeah,
get to
it's
play
the
as Venom and eat people. Bro, I need that in my life again.
Now, see,
yeah.
I think what they should do, I was gonna say, I think they should make the main villain of the game, or at least the final villain of the game, the Red Goblin, because that way it's a cool villain that uses Osborn and Carnage, and like that way it gives like Venom and like Spider Man a reason to fight. That's like that guy's pretty powerful. He can like put like he like was gonna kill everybody because he could put like these like symbiote eggs in people or bombs in people that like explode like at his command, and he put
Yeah,
it in
that'd be
Mary
cool,
Jane
but I
and
feel like
shit.
we will not. We won't get Green Goblin until the third game. I think. I feel like because like I think like I feel like there's gonna be some shit that happens in this game that causes Norman to become the Green Goblin. Probably get him in this.
The second game gonna be a banger.
They just better put Red Goblin. And then I tell you what, Insomniac, is making this in the Wolverine game, and that probably means that a Ratchet game is far from in development. Even though they said they're working on more games.
Well, they're also working on the Wolverine game too, right?
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's what I just said. The point I'm trying to make is if these games are bad while I'm waiting for this goddamn Ratchet game, I'm gonna have a problem. Or not bad, but mid. They're mid. I swear to God. I
dude,
trust them.
I didn't think about it until somebody else brought it up. I was listening to something and I heard people bring up how fucking stupid mid is. I hate the word mid. I hate it now so much. Because people use it to mean anything. They're like, not 10 out of 10, it's mid. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
That's because it's become like what you just said about freaking, what was the word you were saying? A dead game. It's become like that.
Both of those. I hate both of those.
It's just come to mean bad. It's just another way of saying bad. It's not even. It doesn't.
Which is crazy when they say something's mid and it's not even like, for one, middle, not bad. For one, if something's middle of the road, that just means it's good, but it also has problems. That's fine. But if you're saying mid for bad, one, doesn't make sense. That's not what mid means. Two, fuck you. Go back to school. Sorry, learn better language. Jesus Christ, I hate the word mid.
What do you want people to say, Noah?
I don't know, just say, hey, the game is good, but it has problems. Or, hey, I didn't really like that game.
No,
just add a couple words.
You see, that's not what they mean, though. You see, that's not what they mean, though. Because what they mean is that...
Get a word.
Well, there is no one word that's going to mean everything. Because some people say mid to mean middle, and some people say mid to mean bad, which makes no fucking sense.
Well, I mean, Noah, here's why I say that. I think your opinion on that is...
I'm gonna hit you. My God, I hate you so much.
So it is mid. You're middle of the road.
Yeah,
I fucking hate you. Like, anytime I see dead gamer mid, I just want to punch somebody in the face. God.
Well, it's just a way to say shit. It's just
which doesn't even make sense.
Kind of funny. Like,
it's
kind of funnier.
It's just like if I don't know, it feels good to just like, you just want to shit on something. You want to shit on something, like it's just a way to respond to somebody. You're just like they're like, oh man, they're trying to gas it up. You're just like, no, it's mid. It's mid.
Yeah, like, it's funny. It's kind of worse than saying shit because it's like it shows like an indifference.
No, it shows you.
It's one thing if it's bad. I think here's what it is. It's one thing if it's bad. When you say it's mid, it's like it's boring. It's like not even worth your time. Exactly. It's like you don't even care about it. It's not even worth my time.
No, what it shows is that you only have 2 brain cells, and neither of those brain cells can comprehend language past 3 letters.
Well, Noah, what's the difference between people saying that and then people who like some just saying peak all the time? What's the difference?
Okay, I, for one, never see peak nearly as much as I see mid.
No, I see it all the time, bro.
If you want to see somebody say something other than mid, if mid's supposed to be boring, just say boring. It's also only one word with only 3 more letters.
No,
it's funnier.
For stuff that people say peak, people say mid. Well, you have no solution.
I'm gonna be honest here. Other than when we talk and y'all talk about things being peak, I rarely hear the word or see the word peak. I do see it sometimes. Rarely do I see it.
You are not on.
See it.
You are not on any Twitter.
See it all the time.
I'm really not on any. Dude, do you want to know how much anime I've watched in the past 3 months? Not a lot. I'll tell you that right now. Not a lot.
Yeah, based on how much One Piece you've been reading,
If you don't like the words peak fiction.
If you don't like the words peak fiction, click off the video. Recon goated.
When it's just said all the time, I fucking hate it.
Listen on.
But
that opinion's mid.
Did y'all see recently? Was it Donkey released a video on Xenoblade 3?
I saw that.
Apparently, he spoiled the ending in the video with no warning. What a fucking asshole, dude.
But then he gave spoiler alerts for Last of Us 2 in the same video or some shit.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Because he
crazy.
likes The Last of Us 2.
I don't understand because the whole thing because
Last of Us 2, that's a
I'm
mid game.
I'm on Xenoblade Twitter, right? And like
game's mid.
everybody's getting I fucking hate you. Everybody's getting on a donkey for it. But it's also the fact that they bring it up. It's like, why would you play a game that you know you're not gonna like? Like,
It gets some views.
I'm gonna
it's
tell. I'm gonna
the
be real
dumbest
with you,
thing.
bro. I mean, we
I
could like
respect
shit
the
on.
grind. You know, I respect the
I-
grind. I guess.
We could like shit on him right now. But I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like, everyone knows, and he knows that fucking like, it's like when like the game girls start playing a Sonic game, bro. Like they're doing it just to piss people off, to get interaction and views on the video, and all you motherfuckers that are going to that vid just to prove him wrong, which he doesn't care. There's like no argument there.
I just don't get the waste of time because for him it's JRPGs and it's like those are long games. That's a lot of effort just to piss people off.
It's not a waste of time. It's not a waste of time because he's making money off of it. Everybody
He's
that goes to
grinding.
that video.
Yeah, yes.
Everyone that goes to that video and clicks on that video is giving him money, even if they're hating because they're clicking on the video. The best thing you can do is just not watch the video.
It's like if I wanted to piss people off because I don't play like Mitchell. What is the genre of shit like Fallout and Skyrim? What did you say is that genre?
Western RPGs.
Yeah, I don't really like Western
kind
RPGs.
Of more like open world sandbox Western.
I don't.
Well, they're
I
RPGs,
will.
but they would also like sandbox open world.
Basically,
sandbox.
the Elder Scrolls and Fallout kind of style of game. I don't really play that much. I don't really care for that. It's not the most entertaining genre to me. I'm not gonna force myself to play those games if I know I'm not gonna like it. I mean, maybe I'll give it like a game a try, but I'm not gonna force myself to play it, even if it was for money. I don't care that fucking much.
How many Western RPGs have you played?
I've played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. I've played
Fallout 3 hardly considered.
I've played Skyrim. I played a
Skyrim
little bit
hardly
of
considered.
Oblivion.
Oblivion hardly
Personally-
considered.
That's about it.
I personally think that Donkey does like these games for new.
Though I don't think that you would probably like any of the actual good ones.
because I just think he's just going with the focus people do because people keep going to his videos getting mad. It's like the Game Grumps. I'll screen. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I like this Sonic game, whatever." But on camera, they'll like say all this shit because they want to get views, they want to get money. And like I said, I think at this point, I feel like I don't know what people are expecting from Donkey. I'm not even trying to defend the dude, really, but I'm just saying, like, at this point, like, you just don't watch the video.
It's controversy, it's clicks, it is what it is. That's, he's
I wouldn't care if he just made the video and shit on the game. Whatever, I don't care. I think it's the fact that he just out of nowhere spoils the ending of this long ass JRPG that, fun fact, has only been out for like a little over a month at this point.
It's been a month, bro. It's
That's
been a month. And
wild.
Game Explain already made a spoiler video on it.
No, that brings up the point though, because it's one thing if you make a video and you say this is a spoiler. Don't watch this, right? When is it a good time to start spoiling something off rip?
After 2 weeks.
For a JRPG? No.
Yes.
2
weeks.
No.
Yes.
Jay, you don't understand. Nobody, for one, I'm not even done with Xenoblade 3. Nobody, but no, I'm talking about stuff on like Twitter when people post art and it's just like off rip, not spoilered, covered, or anything.
2 weeks.
Well,
I think that's wild. I think that's wild.
If the game is 100 hours and someone's playing the game constantly for 2 weeks, they're gonna beat it in 2 weeks.
Nobody has the time. Not everybody has the time for that, Jay. That's no.
What did he title the video? Was it like?
I haven't even looked at the video. All I've seen on Twitter.
The video wasn't titled in the video.
Well,
it wasn't in the title. It was just in the middle of the video apparently. Yeah, I haven't watched it because I haven't.
If it's like a review, then like I don't know.
Yeah, don't watch the video.
If he is like, if he had his review, he probably should have like.
Typically, most people will put like either at the beginning or something. They'll put that they're spoiling it.
In his videos, he never really spoils. So like, it is kind of he did kind of do it just to be a dick.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's. I don't know. I think.
I would say for a long JRPG, 2 to 3 months.
That's too low. You got no.
I mean, like in the case of like Donkey, it was just him being a fucking kid. So I mean, like, yeah, I give him shit for it. The reason, like, I can respect the grind set, but I hate it when his fans come in and pretend like his opinions are like satire or some shit when they're very clearly his fucking opinions on the goddamn games. That's what it pisses me off.
That's the annoying part. I don't
Because he
even.
hides behind the veil of that.
Dude, his fans are toxic, honestly.
Oh yeah, I don't even hate.
I don't like Donkey fans.
It's mainly his fans that
Yeah.
like just get me to like tell him to shut up. But
It's stupid.
Yeah, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I
Yeah,
don't bother
no,
myself with it
back-
nowadays.
Back to
I
this
just really
fucking
do a lot of
spoiler
shit, but-
talk. Jay, I think it is fair for a long JRPG to give like at least 2 months because not
Bro,
there are
that's-
people
that's-
there are people who have to work, people who have to go to school. Like not everybody has the time
I know
to
people
blaze
who work
through a
more hours than
game.
me. I got friends that work more hours than me that have like harder jobs than me, and they beat the game in a goddamn week.
Well, not everybody is the same. I think that's unfair to be like this one
Just
person
stay
does
off
it,
the
Yeah,
so
internet.
everybody should do it like
And
him.
stay off the internet. In 2 weeks is fine because people are gonna start posting spoiler art in 2 weeks anyway about the stuff. Like they're not like it's 2 or 3 months is way too long. And like I said, if it's you don't want to get spoiled, then don't look up Xenoblade 3 on Twitter. Don't look up these games on Twitter because we're gonna spoil it. Even on the first day, people are gonna spoil it because people are leaking the game. Everyone wants to leak the game fast.
Well, no,
You know what
there's a
happens?
there's a
Someone-
difference. No, Jay,
someone-
there's a difference. A lot of people, for one, especially near the beginning, will put like spoiler tags in their stuff. Also on Twitter,
Some people
especially because YouTube is different. If you put it in the thumbnail, you're a dick. But most people in YouTube will
One
put
person
spoiler
put a
stuff.
big spoiler for 3 in the thumbnail. When the
But
game
what
came out.
what I'm saying is like Twitter especially, if you're putting art up, there's literally this thing that you click once and it just grays out the image and you just put spoiler, don't click this if you don't want to be spoiled. It takes 5 seconds, dude.
Well, you can also like go
Because-
to your tab or go to your words and mute the words.
But no,
for
I
that game.
can't help if I'm looking at Xenoblade 2 art because I love Xenoblade 2. I see a lot of art, and then Xenoblade 3 just pops up out of nowhere. I can't help Twitter's algorithm. Sometimes it may not fit a word.
Well, now you know what's gonna happen, so don't do it unless you don't want to get spoiled.
I just don't think
You
like
can't-
there's a difference. I think what I'm talking about is like no filter spoiling. There's a difference between putting like a spoiler tag and then putting the spoiler up. That's one thing. I've seen people do that. I've avoided it. That's easy to avoid. But when people just off rip like how Donkey does, or just some art on Twitter that just has the spoiler up, I think you should at least give people like 2 months to have some
Should not
time
be
to clear the
that's
game.
way too long. That's way too long for anything.
Because like
It's probably too much.
because like for me, I stream Xenoblade 3 and I only stream 3 days a week because I have school and I have work and I have other responsibilities. So I can only stream the game a couple times a week. So I've been playing the game, 4 to 6 hours on stream. I'm at chapter 5 out of 7. I'm still not finished. Like, and I've been playing at a decent, consistent rate.
Hey man,
So-
that sucks. But like again, that's on you. Like if you don't want to get spoiled at that point, you have to go out of your way. People can't keep worrying about you spoiling. It's like with movies. Like it's 2 weeks for movies, 2 weeks for games.
Okay, no,
people start
movies are different, Jay. Movies are 2-hour experiences that don't take as much to go to.
It doesn't matter about the time. These people like I said, people are having like full-time
Jay,
jobs.
that's
game.
that.
I don't know,
You,
I
you
think-
can't compare apples to oranges on that one. You cannot do that.
I can. People
should-
got full-time jobs that are beating this game fast. I know you have a certain way of doing it, and that's what you do. But my thing is, at a certain point, it's like at a certain point, like you have to just start putting the effort yourself to not get spoiled because people want to talk about it. Like right now, they're making videos now on the spoilers.
No,
fully.
Jay, what about something like Elden Ring and not in the sense of like just the game in general, but like a game that has a lot of things that you can do off the side that maybe that's what people do, and then you have then you have the
People
person
spoil
who
it, Noah.
no, then you have the
Well, no,
person
people did,
that just
people did put like a pretty wide gap into when they started to just straight up spoil.
exactly.
There was a
But
pretty
the
wide
thing is
gap.
with Elden
A
Ring,
lot of people did.
there are people who just like blazed through the main game and avoided maybe some of the side stuff, so they got to the end faster. So what about the same thing with Xenoblade? Like there are people who are taking their time doing the side content, taking the time, and there are people who just blaze through the game and finish it in like 30 hours compared to the 50 plus hours of the people who are doing the side content. Like, is it my fault for wanting to do other stuff within the game and not just blaze to
No,
the
it's not
end?
your fault. I know you playing the game is different from what I'm saying. I'm saying stay off Twitter. First off, you should already be staying off this stuff if you don't get spoiled because again, People are leaking the game before the game comes out. That's how all these games work. People are gonna leak the game. When Sonic Frontiers come out, people are gonna leak the game. When these games come out, people leak the game. I'm pretty sure Elden Ring came out, people leaked the game. They're gonna leak the game, and you're gonna find somebody who's gonna retweet that leak. And when it comes to YouTube, even on YouTube, someone posted a big spoiler that I saw as a thumbnail before the game even came out, like before anyone had the game. That's just how it is. At a certain look, I know it's bad for certain people to do that, but at a certain point, if you don't want to get spoiled, you have to just do stuff to not get spoiled. If you're playing a certain way where you can't beat the game for like 2 to 3 months, then that's on you to choose whether or not you get spoiled or not. It's the stay off Twitter, mute words, do that stuff. You can't expect everybody to sit here and be like, I'm not gonna talk about the game for like 2 or 3. No, they're not gonna do that. It's too much going on. And even if
I mean, I think there's like two things about it. I think that like, yeah, you should be cognizant of the fact that people are just gonna post spoilers regardless, so you should be cautious if that's something that you care about. But at the same time, I do think that as a general rule, you should probably like, leave a gap before you just start straight up fucking raw dog spoilers.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Spoilers early.
There's a difference between posting spoilers, because people do it even before the game comes out. There's a difference between posting spoilers online and putting like the spoiler tag or graying out the image, and then just raw dog spoiling it. There's a difference in that. I'd say 99% of the things I've seen of Xenoblade 3 have just been either spoiler tag, grayed out, or just like they won't spoil it. There's been a couple things here and there.
I don't know. There's just
you and I just follow different people.
I don't know. I think it just depends on who you're around on Twitter. There's no real hardline rule on it, but I don't know. It's difficult because there's gonna be unavoidable situations where like somebody fucking like, for example, Uzumaki Khan, he's like a One Piece reactor, and like he fucking has like a bunch of shit on lockdown. Like he's got like a bunch of filters on like to filter his fucking like Twitter or whatever the fuck, and like YouTube. He's got like a bunch of filters, like app extensions or whatever the fuck. And then like he just looks up some video for like his kid on like his iPad or some shit. They just like runs to a spoiler, and it's just like sometimes it's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's difficult. It's a difficult situation. There's no fucking clear answer, but I don't know. I think you should be cognizant that there's gonna be like people who just raw dog, just go in, fucking no condom, no protection.
Yeah, I mean it just depends on it depends on the media too, because if it's something like a manga chapter or a movie, like Jay was saying 2 weeks, I think that's fair. I mean, like if in 2 weeks you haven't seen a movie or you haven't read a manga chapter, I think that's more on you, because like you're busy, but like that also, a manga chapter takes like no time to read, and a movie is only 2.5 hours.
Those get even less. Like those, like you say, I would say 2 weeks, but those get even less. Like
I would say for like a manga chapter, it should be like
it's like I'm not saying that I want it to be a day, but I'm saying that when things get out.
No, for a manga chapter, that's like you should, as soon as it's released, it's like
like
a
manga
online, you can get that.
The point is stuff like that where it's like it doesn't take much time to do. I think giving it a short amount of time is fine, because unless you are just really busy, which I'm sorry, you just got unlucky and you're really busy at that time, but most of the time it doesn't take long to do those kind of things. But when it comes to a 70-hour JRPG, even if just the main story is like 30 to 40 hours, you can kind of make that up. But not everybody's just going to blaze through the story and beat it immediately, right?
Well, yeah, I think that's a little different. At a certain point, you gotta be more cautious, because I agree that people are assholes for doing shit like that. Not tagging, not doing that shit. But at this point, you know how the algorithm works. We know how this shit is. And there's like, I mean, we can like say, oh, don't do this, don't post this, but people are gonna post anyway. I might be more cautious about it. Like, I won't like post spoiler. If I post a spoiler, I'll like, say it's a spoiler and then do it. But people aren't gonna do it. But people keep going on Twitter or YouTube and like expect people to follow those rules. Now, that's why I say like 2 weeks is when it's gonna happen, because after 2 weeks, people are gonna start really posting shit. Like even for any game, really, that's when people are gonna start posting. It's gonna be a slow crawl. People are gonna start posting shit about characters.
The thing is, I hate I hate the idea of like needing to blacklist words, because what I've loved about Xenoblade 3 was every time you could tell that the community has collectively gotten through a chapter when it was trending on Twitter, or just everybody was like, oh my god, dude, chapter fucking 4 or whatever. And then you could talk to people about that chapter, like within that post. And if you see people talk about it, just don't click on that post, right? That's what I enjoy. I hate, because needing to blacklist and completely out myself from talking to others about this thing I like, that sucks. I shouldn't have to do that. And I'm not saying
There's a
people,
place where you can do that.
and I'm not saying,
It has it separate.
I'm not
You won't
saying
get spoiled.
people like have to be cognizant of others in terms of spoilers, but it's just like maybe give it like a month, at least a month, before you start really throwing spoiler stuff out there. And it's been about a month for Xenoblade 3 at this point, so it's fair, but still, I think at least a month.
Well, no, there's a place out there where it has your specifics, and if people do post spoilers, they get banned. It's called Reddit. So
Yeah, there's
I mean,
stuff.
I'm
There's also Discords that go out there, and they have like a spoiler like area where you can put spoilers in. That's also another one.
that's why I put. Hey man, I'll make sure to cover my shit. So like, I don't be posting it, stuff like that. But again, it's up to you. Like if people, there are people sometimes people that like, and I've seen there are people who will do everything to like block a spoiler or like to adjust a spoiler, right? So he won't get spoiled. And then motherfuckers will click on the shit anyway, and be like, "You spoiled me! You did this! You did this! You made a video with a spoiler." And even though someone may have like, spoiler warning in the video, someone may start the video saying, "Hey, it's a spoiler." They only put like the thing that's they're spoiling. Like, hey, it's a spoiler section. They have it section off, but people will still go to the video or the tweet and be ignorant, like aggressively ignorant, and then and say shit like that. So like it's just my thing of like at this point, at a certain point you just gotta kinda like look out for yourself. And we're at the point where you gotta
I
look
just
out
think
for
that's
yourself.
really shitty. Like it really depends. I think for like JRPGs or very story heavy games, it's really shitty when you just kind of throw out a spoiler. It's like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
it is shitty. I agree. It's
And
shitty, but it's
there's
just
some people who don't care as much. Like I know you don't care as much about spoilers. Like for you, like just seeing it is cool, and for some people that's fine. Like if you just see it, you see it. But for me, it's like I want to experience that playing the game. I don't want to
see
see it on Twitter. And there's a difference, right? There's certain things where I'll see it and I'll be like, I don't care. Like if I see stuff for Pokemon right now, the new Pokemon that comes out, I'm not trying to look at everything that the game has. But if I like see a leaked Pokemon, I'm like, whatever, that's fine. But
my view on it is just that like if a scene is good, it's gonna move me no matter what. Like I mean, I like Final Fantasy VII. Aerith death scene. Everybody fucking knows that scene. That scene still moved me. When I finally
damn,
played the
Jay,
game,
spoilers, God.
that's too bad. A 20-year-old game. But anyway, when I finally sit down and played the game, like the experience you get after playing the game and getting to it and just watching the cutscene on YouTube is so much different when it comes to a game. Now, a movie is different because it still is kind of different movie because you gotta like have the full context of the movie before you see a scene to really enjoy it. But like again, like if a scene is good, I that first reaction to it is not. It needs to be kept, and if it can't be kept regardless of that, then that scene is not as
But
great as people
I
say it
also
is.
think there's areas in which that doesn't apply. Like if you say, let's say around the time these games came out, not now, of course, because these are all games that have been out for a while. Any of the Danganronpa games, Persona 4, Persona 5,
Well,
games that rely on that initial shock and like figuring this out. If you've gone on Twitter and you've seen that fucking Adachi, sorry for people who haven't played Persona 4, Adachi is the murderer in Persona 4. And it's like, I will say that's probably one of the shittier surprises out of any of the games I mentioned. But if you see that, it kind of spoils that, or it kind of like ruins that part of the game, right? Because part of the game is figuring out who done it, and now that you
well, to,
know, it kind of takes out the experience a little bit, you know?
to me, it doesn't because then I want to know how the fuck this happened. Because if I just see that and hear, I'm like, oh shit, he becomes it. Now I want to know how it happened. Now I want to play the game and see
But
how it
no,
happens and see
see,
what's going
that's
on.
to me, that's the point of like maybe a second playthrough or a second go through of the cutscenes, because the first time is the shock and the
Well, yeah,
initial
but
impression
you
of
put the
that,
pieces.
and then
That's
you
you
put
putting
it
the pieces
together the
together.
second time
But
around.
but see, if I were to see that first and I didn't play the game, and I just genuinely want to know what is happening up to this point, and I just see that, then I don't know what's happening up to that point to see that. It has no, there's no weight on me. It's like seeing a character death, like of a show, out of nowhere. There's no weight to it unless I know what's going on. People would tell people to. I know this is anime, but people would tell people to skip to Water 7 in One Piece when they try to read it.
Wait. No. No, I'm reading it. I'm literally reading it.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not
Don't
gonna
even say
spoil it.
anything. Don't even say anything, nigga. Don't even say anything, nigga. Shut
I'm
up.
not gonna
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not gonna
Stop.
spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil
Nigga,
it.
shut the fuck up.
You're still not gonna spoil it.
Move on to the next topic.
I'm
What are
not
we
gonna
talking about?
spoil
No.
it. No,
So,
no.
but okay, look. So
Let me
you can make that argument about Persona, whatever. You literally cannot spoil Danganronpa. If you spoil Danganronpa, the entire game is just worthless.
Everybody spoiled Danganronpa for me. Everybody on Twitter talked about that.
Oh, okay.
goddamn
When did you
white-haired-
play? When did you play that game?
I didn't play the game. Twitter played it for
Oh.
me.
But no, that's the thing. Like, especially around the time the game came out, if you were spoiled by that, bruh, like the game is worthless at that point. Because the main reason of that game is figuring out who killed this person, when did they kill it, how did they kill it. If you know everything, what the fuck is the point of playing the game, right? Like, come on.
Bro, it's like watching an episode of Case Closed. You want to rewatch the episode? And see what
Shut
happened?
up, Jay. You cannot defend that one. Shut up.
I mean, I don't want to defend Danganronpa because it's Danganronpa, but
Oh, goated
go
game.
off Noah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It probably is
Spoiling just
ambitious.
sucks. Spoiling just sucks because it's a thing where there's no definitive rule, but it's just one of those things. Like, don't do it, especially right when something comes out. Just don't do it. But anyways, I saw this thing on Twitter. It's another Twitter thing I saw. So the Last of Us Part 1 is coming out soon, which nobody gives a shit. But there was also a rumor that Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are coming out or are going to be in a direct soon, right?
Oh my god!
For the 50th time. But I saw somebody talk about, they were like, don't bash The Last of Us Part 1 being $70 if you're going to buy Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, because they'll probably be $60 separately. I wanted to put that out there because, for one, garbage take. Two, let's just say this. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, if they did come out, probably would be $60 separately each, but I'll at least give it over Last of Us. At least they're not already on the console.
Both situations are pretty fucking shitty.
Oh yeah, they're both bad, but I will say at
our argument
least
is one's an actual game, the other's a movie.
But no,
That's
I
my
don't
argument.
even care about that. But what my argument here would be is that at least Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are not already on the Switch in any sort of capacity. Neither of them are. But The Last of Us Part 1 literally has a $20 remaster of the same game that you can play on both PS4 and PS5. Like, I don't know why. I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was the dumbest argument I've ever seen in my life. And Last of Us fans make me want to, like, ram my head against a wall sometimes.
I don't like Last of Us fans. They overhype their mid. That's when I'm gonna keep calling it mid no matter what. I don't care what you say. But the game, I mean, it's both in both situations. It's still like shitty. It's just that the only difference I'm gonna say is that one is an actual game and the other is just $70 for a fucking movie essentially. It's some like fucking basic ass wannabe Tomb Raider looking gameplay or Tomb Raider reboot looking gameplay. That's all it is.
See, I don't even shit on Last of Us fans. I don't care if they want to play that game and enjoy it. I haven't played it. I'm not gonna shit on it. Unless something looks really bad, I don't shit on a game unless I've played it, right? Generally. So I don't care. Last of Us fans, go in your corner and have fun. I don't care. It's when they feel the need to shit on everything else that comes out to defend their fucking game. And it's like, no, it's not. Okay, look, you don't see that with stuff like Spider-Man. Nobody does that with Spider-Man. I do not. I never see that. But it's like, it's the really toxic people. But the point being, Last of Us especially, right, is the game where they just feel the need to dog on everything else, which then just in turn makes them toxic and makes nobody want to play the game they're trying to lift up, right? Because, like, if a Horizon fan does it, I'll give it to them. People shit on Horizon because it's that game that comes out when another big game comes out. So it's like when people try to dog on it, it's like fuck you. But like Last of Us, it's like people praise Last of Us to the ends of the earth, but for some reason they just feel the need to put down everything else, and it's like, bruh, chill, man. It's not
They
that
also
serious.
gas up like fucking fruit in a game getting shot at and like having those splices because that's all they can look at it. That's all they can like really pay attention to. Or that's the most excitement they get out of their gameplay is like watching a fucking fruit explode and
I
then
see
get
those.
mad at
I
one
see
another.
those Twitter posts where it's like, bro, look at this realism, and it's like, cool. I'm gonna go play this game with a cool fantasy world and like really bright visuals.
That's all they gas up because that's all that their gameplay is worth is just looking at pretty shit and having nothing else major going on because there's just pretty shit in the game. I remember they did that shit. It's funny, bro. It was like friendly fire with the Sony stands, bro. Because when Ratchet and Clank dropped, people were mad because the grass didn't react to you, like walking in the grass. It didn't react to you. It didn't even look bad. It just doesn't like move with you. And they were like, Insomniac is a worse studio than Naughty Dog because of that. And it's like one has gameplay, the other is the fuck. You're just walking in a cutscene. Of course, they're gonna be able to animate more shit.
Graphics are the dumbest thing, man. We are at the point where graphics don't mean anything. They don't. We've gotten to the point where it is so close to realism that I just don't give a shit. I don't
All
need my
people care
game.
about is like the shadows and the fucking and if
I
like
don't
shit
need
can
my
split
game
off
to
in like
look
five
super
different gigavolts.
realistic, dude. Is it fun? Yeah, then I'll play it. I don't care, man. Like the games I'm playing right now are fucking Fortnite, Pokemon Unite. Fucking like I don't care, man.
I don't think I do personally think that in general people that's another topic too. I think that people don't care for graphics. I think graphics really don't mean shit in the long run. Besides, unless you're like a hardcore person that really wants like the best graphics, because if
Well, I
graphics
mean,
matter, well, to me, here's what I'm saying: if graphics matter, then why is the Switch doing well, and why has it been through history
well,
that
I
the
think,
consoles with like the worst looking graphics out of that generation are the most successful?
well, I think we need to clarify because graphics do matter. They matter a lot. What we're really talking about here is like graphical fidelity versus like
Yeah,
aesthetics.
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go, there you
I
go.
guess
Um,
that
That's what I
that's
just
the
said.
point
Yeah.
here, right? Like a game does need to look, good, but
yeah,
it
it needs
also
to look good.
it doesn't need to
Like,
have every detail in the world. It doesn't need to have all the shadows and the clouds moving perfectly. Like I don't need all of that, you
yeah,
know.
like fucking them showed off the Forza fucking whatever the fuck God, I'm blanking on the word, whatever the fuck. But yeah, like you can see the fucking the actual fucking mirrors and the shit like that. Like no,
Yeah,
nobody really
no.
gives a
No,
fuck
When
no
about
you
that
look
one's
at
shit.
a
gonna see that when they're racing at 200
when
miles
you
per hour.
look at a
Mhm.
Microsoft conference and what their talking points for the new Forza or whatever is just they've added cloud movement into the game now. It's like, bruh, why are
No
you
one's gonna
releasing a
care
new game? I don't
unless
care.
they're sitting there on the track because they're going at like 50 miles, like 200 miles per hour on this racing game. So who's gonna like
Mhm.
sit there and count the clouds beside like some
Yeah,
fucking? I mean, it's
I
all.
mean,
I feel like I love Digital Foundry, bro. I really do. I like their channel, but I feel like it's all for that like juicy Digital Foundry video to promote the game,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
they can like go in depth.
I think the like I think you have to do you do generally do have to be like at a fucking general level of graphical fidelity, but like at the end of the day, if the aesthetics can carry, they can carry very hard, and that's what fucking like Nintendo thrives off of is the aesthetics of their games, and that generally like outweighs any of the fucking like deficient shit like Pokemon. The aesthetics, they're it's a backpack. All right,
That's the best
that shit.
example of shit like
It
selling.
is hardcore. It is hardcore, like pushing past the graphical fidelity. So
Yeah, and that game's still selling like crazy. Like you just go throughout history, and the things that are selling the most do not have the best graphics. The DS didn't
and
have the best
generally,
graphics,
yeah,
but it sold more.
generally,
The
mm,
PS2 was like one of the best selling consoles. PS2 and Wii are two of the best selling consoles of all time. Yet the Wii was significantly graphically inferior to the other consoles in the generation. And the PS2 was also graphically inferior, though not that much. It was still graphically inferior to the other consoles. And so people, that's why I think like this all this crap about like we need to have like the freaking like whenever when a character farts, it needs to like the wind needs to like push the grass in this like
Yeah.
fucking all this shit. It doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter like in the long run because no one's gonna because at the end of the day it's cool to show it at E3, but if he's gonna play, someone's gonna play the game and no one's gonna do that shit. So he was gonna be too busy in the gameplay unless your game is like Last of Us where it's like the gameplay is mid and like you're just kind of you're in a walking cutscene. It's not gonna matter. At the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's less now because I feel like as we go forward, games are just going to progress in terms of realism less and less. Like, we're to the point where we're barely progressing. Like, a realistic looking game now is not going to look that much different from a realistic game 5 years from now. It's going to have more fidelity to it, but it's not going to look that much different in general. It's not.
I mean, maybe we'll have to see. Because I mean,
Yeah.
But
look at that Yakuza
yeah, but
Yakuza 7 bread cutscene. That shit. Oh my god.
but
You
it's
see that bread
like
in that fucking cutscene?
the problem with realism too, and why I don't like it, is because it gets dated. Like you play there's so many good games that exist from back like in the 2000s and the 2010s that did that realism, and they just look fucking ugly now. And it's
I'll
like,
be real.
bruh,
It was more than
Yeah.
realism. So be real. Like people always say that about that, but a lot of the cartoony games also don't look that great either. Uh, in retrospect, a lot of the games of like the of 360 are starting to look good now because we're noticing all the cheap tricks they would use to make it look good because it was chug. It was making the 360 chug, like a bunch of bloom effects and shit and
yeah.
motion blur and
I
stuff that
think
we had taken off.
even if those non-realistic games don't look as good, they still keep that charm that kind of allows you to kind of not care as much.
Well,
But with
they can still
realistic
have
games, it's
charm.
like, eh.
The
I
realistic
don't
games can still have
know.
charm. Like a lot of the renderware games back in the day, that's aesthetic. Like the GTA game, they're realistic looking. There's aesthetic.
GTA
You know?
generally does put a little bit more of a like tinkle of like aesthetics into their shit. Like they typically have a
Yeah.
little bit more of a style to it. It's not just straight up realism. It's kind of complicated. I don't know. PlayStation 3 and Xbox period feels kind of like awkward to me, like an awkward position in terms of that shit. I think that like where we're at now, I don't know. I can't really conceptualize like a realistic game nowadays getting super dated. But maybe I don't know. It's hard to say. Time moves forward.
I
Again,
think
I just think techniques just boils down to that rather than just if it's realistic or not.
I just think we finally figured out the graphic, like the realism part of it more, and it's kind of the point where I don't think it's gonna look that much better. But we're kind of at the fidelity point. We want all the ray tracing, the RTX, and all that shit. That's what we're focused on more now.
I'm too broke to see ray
Yeah.
tracing.
Yeah, ray tracing, beating my
I
fucking
will
shit's
say,
ass.
I will say about realistic graphics. People were saying that in the 360 and PS3 era, and I feel like we'll always feel that way with like realism, where there's not a lot left. But then time passes, and there's a lot of little graphic shit that gets done over time that adds up, and then like we'll look back at like this generation of games and be like, this wasn't that perfect. You know, like it's just kind of how shit
Look up
happens.
that Yakuza 7 bread cutscene, bro. Cause that shit. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Do you see
Yeah,
the
the
bread of that
bread.
shit? That shit is
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Well, I think a big problem too is when developers focus so much on making a game realistic that they kind of ignore a lot of other things in the game. So it's
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
this
well, a
game
lot of
looks
people
really good, but does it play well?
I mean, yeah, a lot of people get caught up in doing a lot of shit just for the sake of realism. Like fucking Neil Druckmann fucking whipping the poor fucking employees, forcing them to make those fucking realistic fucking rope physics. Poor fucking people. But it is what it is. It depends.
Yeah, I also don't want my PC to, light on fire when I want to play a game now.
Yeah.
I care more about performance personally. Like at this point, I mean, I don't care how many giga shits that your fruit can explode in. Like if that shit's causing like the game to run at 30 FPS,
I'm
and below,
I'm
I'm
glad.
not.
I'm glad that they've decided to add options to console games nowadays. You know, the
Yeah.
minute option of performance or fidelity. But I don't, bro. I don't know who the fuck is out here choosing fidelity. Okay, because I'm always gonna choose
Yeah,
performance. I
like
don't need my shit fucking stuttering. Okay, nothing pisses me off more than when my fucking game is stuttering. Okay, that pisses me the fuck off. I'm not doing that shit. No,
Yeah.
obviously, every time performance.
yeah,
Fuck
like
fidelity.
when Spider-Man PS4 came to PS5 and they have a performance and a fidelity. Don't get me wrong, the fidelity looks really good. The game looks beautiful with ray tracing, like it looks great. But I'm gonna put on 60 FPS every day, baby. Like, come on.
Yeah, fuck that 30 FPS shit. Fuck no. Okay, 60 FPS is what we're doing. Okay.
That buttery smooth 60 FPS.
Yeah, I will take the Bannerlord is coming out on consoles and it has a performance and fucking fidelity option. I don't know what the fuck. I don't. Why? Why the fuck would anyone
Who
choose the
cares,
fucking
bruh?
fidelity option? Why would
Yeah.
they do
Yeah,
that?
I'd rather have a game be 60
I
FPS
want,
than
but
anything
if you
else.
don't get it, it look like a movie. You want to look like a movie, don't you?
Oh my god, though. I fucking hate the people who want their things to be 200 FPS. It's like, bro, anything above 60 looks the damn same. I'm gonna be real with you.
Actually,
I
actually,
don't care.
actually,
I
actually,
don't
actually, actually,
care.
actually,
You're
if you
not
get
gonna.
like a no, if you get like a fucking fucking monitor with fucking like higher refresh rate and shit, like 144. That's what my monitor has, and it's like there's a difference. There's a difference. It's not like
It's not
ending. It's not
noticeable.
end of the world. No, it's noticeable. It's noticeable. If you have that shit at like 60, and then you bump that shit up to 144, you can tell.
No,
Okay,
like
you can tell.
an example
It's not
was
like the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I can play at 60. It's fine. It's just, but you can
it's
tell.
not noticeable to me.
You
Like an
can tell.
example of this was when I used to speedrun Sonic Adventure 2 and I was going through it, my first few runs got banned. And I asked the dude who was doing them, I was like, why? He's like, so Sonic Adventure 2 has this weird thing where if your monitor's refresh rate is higher, it like ups the game's speed. But it's not noticeable, but it's enough that it would like cut your time from like 2 hours and 10 minutes to under 2 hours. But it's not
I think it
noticeable.
does it on Xbox too. On the Xbox
Yeah,
Series, it actually boosts the frame rate of
it's
SH.
so fucking weird. But point is, right, if I'm playing a shooter at 60 FPS, for me personally, I'm not going to notice anything above that. I don't care. I don't need it to be 200
I
FPS.
think it's not like the end of the world. I'm not acting like it's like super fucking. I need 144 fucking shit. I don't. I can play 60. It's fine. But fucking just like I think that like for me at least when I fucking like switch between the two, I can tell. I can tell. It's not like something that I would probably notice. Just like I don't know, fucking like a video or some shit. But it's definitely something I can tell when I switch between the two.
I don't know. It's not as crazy as like for a while I didn't really notice when people would be like it's at 30 FPS. I'm like, really? I don't care. But nowadays I do notice the 30-60 like very much. So like I get on a game and I play it at 30 and I'm like, God, kill me. Please put it at 60. Like fighting
I used
games,
to be fine.
shooters.
I used to be fine with 30 FPS. Now it's just fucking sinful to me.
Going back, looking at the shit now, like what happened. They basically couldn't, like they wanted those graphics, but they like the system just could not support 60 FPS with those graphics they're trying to achieve. And I remember like the guys at Microsoft and Sony were like, we're going to get 30 FPS because that's what people actually want. And they were like making up so many excuses for it. Now like we're just seeing the games at 60 FPS and that's what people want.
I think when you
So
build a game around being 30 FPS, it can work, but when you don't, it's not great.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. Depends on the game.
Mitchell, what FPS do you want to play Skyrim at?
60.
60, good math.
60 to 50.
60 to 50? Okay.
That's the best you're gonna fucking get if you're modding it like I am. Okay. EMBs, they fucking
Because
that
you're
shit.
modding the whole ass world.
It's not even that. Just the
your
EMB
computer,
alone.
Your computer
The EMB
screaming on the
alone.
inside, God help.
The EMB alone is gonna fucking like the fact that I've even got it running at 60 most of the time is fucking insane to me.
No,
I used to be playing that bitch at like 50 to 40. Okay, that shit was fucking awful.
my
That shit was
favorite
terrible.
things.
Tanked like fucking 10 FPS.
My favorite things to see on Twitter is when like people mention God of War Ragnarok on PS4 and somebody just puts the ants in my PlayStation when I boot up God of War Ragnarok and they just light on fire.
You talk about that game, bro. I know the gameplay should be very similar to like the first game, and that's like fine, I guess. But like, bro, these dudes are doing everything but showing more gameplay. Like
I
these
just
trailers are
love
coming
this
out.
shit.
These trailers are coming out, and they are not showing gameplay of this shit at all.
I have
Uh,
not been following Ragnarok too hard, so.
and it's not that I need to
Yeah.
like. I don't know. It's like, do they got anything new to show, or got anything new for Kratos or something, or are afraid of showing it, or what? Because yeah, they have not been doing that at all.
I love how they're trying to put their big games on PS4 and it's like, bro, just let it. I know a lot of people don't have PS5, so it's fair to them to get it on PS4, but it's like, bro, some of these games just don't need to go on PS4, dude. Stop it. just stop, man.
Will they upgrade Bloodborne to 60 FPS? I know I fucking brought it up last time. What the fuck are they doing?
Do you think Bloodborne needs to be 60 FPS, Mitchell?
Yeah, Noah.
See,
I'm telling you, when you boot that shit up, it's gonna be painful.
So was Dark Souls 2 on PC 60 FPS?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've played all the Souls games at 60 FPS then, because
when
Souls...
you get ready. No, get ready, Noah. Get ready. When you boot that bitch up, and you fucking hit that 30, fucking taking the fucking like 20 FPS, okay? It's gonna be an experience, okay? Bloodborne is especially a game where it should be like fucking 60 FPS with the fucking fast-paced gameplay. I'm just
At
disgusted.
least it's the only one I have to do at 30. The other ones are at 60.
Like, what the fuck are they doing? Do they not want money? What is Sony doing? Where are they at? What's happening? It's so easy. They don't want money. It's that simple. Where are we? Like, bro, the PS5 has been out for how long now? And we still don't got a fucking patch or anything? They gotta be doing like a remaster or something. I don't know. I just don't understand it. I can't see how they would fucking wait this long for Bloodborne. Bloodborne is like the fucking normie machine. That's like the fucking love. That's like everyone's fucking. That's like what every fucking casual loves the most. It's like the top From Software game for most people.
I feel like...
What if they're making Bloodborne 2 and you're just not...
I'll be disgusted. I hope it's shit.
If
If it's made by Blue Point, I hope it's dog shit, and the people who fucking ask for it can fucking suffer.
I feel like Bloodborne Remaster is kind of like Metroid Prime Remake or the Metroid Prime Collection. It's the same thing like that, where you just see leaks for it all the time, but it never comes up, and you're just like,
Well, that's the
another
PC port.
another Bloodborne Remaster announced or leak. Man, can't wait for that to not happen.
Sony very recently, just fucking bought more stock in From Software, so, and Tencent, our Chinese overlords, our soon-to-be Chinese
Tencent's
overlords.
getting there, man.
So we'll see. I don't know. They're looking to be more invested in the From Software stonks. So we'll see.
Third competitor is gonna come up and probably take it all if he gets it. And y'all know who I'm talking about.
No, I actually don't.
Oh, yeah. Saudi Prince. Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna come From Software. I don't think that's.
He's coming for Capcom.
Yeah, but it's more like fighting game type shit. What he's more interested in.
Yeah, Mitchell doesn't care for fighting games because he's so cool. Oh, look at me, I'm Mitchell.
He's cool. He's free from the play.
I care when One Piece. Okay, simple as. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that.
They bring Deadliest Warrior
back. I remember when you said that if Minecraft got into Smash, you would you'd buy the game and a Switch, and you still haven't done that.
You see, the problem is that's a whole ass fucking console. That's very different from a game.
But you said you would do it though. You said you would do it though.
But you see, I failed to account for the fact that I was poor. So
you know, two problems for that because there was one probably said that player one with Mario that you would
Well, I originally said that I would just get a Switch. The Switch Smash thing was that I would get it like fucking immediately after it happened. which was not exactly in the cards considering
Yeah, see,
my
Mitchell,
financial
but
situation.
you can get a Switch Lite. It's only $200.
Yeah, only $200. Only $200. How much Smash? Yeah, it's only
60.
only
Dollars,
60.
and if
Yeah,
you want all the
$260. Yeah, it's easy.
It's $50.
Yeah,
That's really hard
and you have to
compared
buy
to me just getting a game.
and you have to buy the
That's really
Steve
difficult.
DLC. That's also
It's
important.
$50 for the DLC.
Well, okay, he only has to get Steve. So
Wait, $50 for the whole DLC?
look, Mitchell, if
Yeah.
you buy a Switch Lite, I'll buy you Smash.
And then if you want the Mii costume, like the Minecraft costumes with it, you're gonna have to like pay like
Boy, no
Was
way,
it-
boy.
$1. It's
Yeah,
they're
all the
like
Minecraft
they're
Mii
like-
costumes. Yeah,
they're like $3 per pack. So
Yeah.
what, there's
Boy,
like,
no way, boy.
there's like
Boy, no
seven.
way, boy.
Look,
Actually, no.
Mitchell,
Like,
Mitchell,
I'm
listen to
around
me. Mitchell,
I'm
listen to
around
me.
it. Like
Listen to me.
Okay,
If Mitchell, hold on, Jay,
$44.
shut up for a second. Mitchell, listen to me. If you buy a Switch Lite, I'll buy you Smash. Okay.
Okay, well, you're still
No,
gonna have to
get a
wait
Switch.
until
No, I
we
can. Mitchell, I'll find you a full Switch. No, I don't want you getting the light. You need to get that full
Jay's
screen.
just
It's
gonna find
gonna
you a
have to wait.
Switch.
It's gonna have to wait. Okay,
I know,
it's gonna
but
have to wait.
when it's ready, I'll find you a good deal. I know people that can get you good deals on it because
Well.
I don't want you getting the light. I don't do my boy dirty like that.
Well, we're at where we're at. But anyways, One Piece, our deadliest warrior. Okay, then talk to me about fighting games.
Come and talk to me.
Good old One Piece. Speaking of one, I don't know, we finished the episode. We're at a good time to stop. I didn't know what to
You could
transition.
segment that into a better
Wow.
thing.
I honestly, I'm too tired to segment it. I kind of lost it. I'm gonna be real
No,
with
we're
you.
doing that.
Segue,
No, we're
segue.
doing
That
Look,
segment.
I tried. I
Proper
was like,
English.
we
okay?
completed one episode today. I tried. Like, I
We're
tried.
redoing this then. All right, let's do it.
No,
Let's do this segue.
no,
We're
no,
gonna-
I-
we're
No,
gonna
Jay,
do
no,
it.
you're-
that was-
after that start. You're banned. You're
That
banned
was-
from
yeah,
it.
you're
I'm not
banned from that.
I'm not banned. I'm not
Look,
banned.
the
Yeah,
fact is, we got to the point. We're done. We got to the hour and a half. I think we're pretty good. Brian, do you have any last thoughts?
Wow.
I'm about to pass out and sleep. So no.
Of course. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Check out us all in the links and the stuff, and we'll see you next time. Good stuff. Yep.